Thank you for turning to page 121. Let's jump into the monster manual. We're going to look at the Pit Fiend. And the reason I'm looking at this guy is he's going to play an important role in the game I'm running. I'm making this video about 5 hours before I'll be running the game. And by the time it airs, which will be on Friday, my players will have already played and been surprised by this. This is a one-shot game I'm doing because we have a couple of people that can't make it this week, so I usually do like a one-shot, and I had a request for everybody to play their mega levels. Those are the really powerful guys, so I thought, why not? So I'll go into the Pit Fiend a little bit, talk about him, and then a little bit about how I'm going to be using him in the forthcoming game. So the Pit Fiend is a greater devil. They are rare. 1 or 1 to 3 appearing. 1 to 3 is challenging. Armor class -3. 13 hit dice. 2 attacks per round at 5 to 8, 7 to 12. Special attack, see below. Special defense, +2 or better weapon to hit. 65% magic resistance. Exceptionally intelligent. Lawful evil, and they're large. They also have psionics, but not at my table. The lowest plane of hell is the home of the dreaded Pit Fiend, a devil of great power. They possess a terrible strength and the most fearsome, most evil nature. All Pit Fiends have personal names. They are the personal servants of Asmodeus. Each typically carries an Ankus-like weapon and a jagged-toothed club, and all can strike with both in a melee round. Pit Fiends are able to perform any of the following at will. Once per turn or melee round is applicable. Pyrotechnics, produce flame, wall of fire. Detect magic, detect invisible, polymorph self, hold person, or gate in 1 to 3 barbed devils, 60%, or another Pit Fiend, 70% chance of success. Once per day, a Pit Fiend can use the symbol of pain. Save versus magic or suffer -4 on attack die rolls to hit and -2 on dexterity for 2 to 20 melee rounds. They shed fear in a 20-foot radius. Save versus magic is applicable. All Pit Fiends have a strength of 18 double-aught. They regenerate 2 hit points per melee round. If they strike with their tail and score a hit, the opponent is held with 2 to 8 points of constriction damage per turn. Interesting that the tail is not called out as one of its primary attacks. But the Pit Fiend, there you go, 18 double-aught strength. That seems actually a little light to me for a 12-foot tall monster. But this is the old book published in 77. They were trying to balance these kind of monsters then. Armor class -3 was virtually unhittable back in the day. 65% MR, quite formidable. I personally give them giant strength, usually +4, +10 on their attack and damage. It's just how I do it because I want them to be a more formidable monster. They don't all at my table serve one devil, and I give them all the magic powers that are listed here. The pain symbol is a really good one. Save versus magic, or suffer -2 on attack, -4 on attack, -2 on dex. And they shed a fear in 20-foot radius, save versus magic. So anytime you encounter this guy, you've got to save versus fear. All Pit Fiends have a strength of double-aught, 18 double-aught. They regenerate 2 hit points per melee round. That's pretty formidable, actually. It doesn't say if they regenerate severed limbs or not. If they do at my table. And then the tail, I've thrown the tail in as a third attack. And I roll to see if they are constricted. And if they are held, it is for 2 to 8 points of constriction damage per turn, and I make it that the tail itself is as strong as a fire giant, so you have to bend bars, lift gates, or get help to get out from being held by the tail. And I also rule that the Pit Fiend is so massive, he can move about easily while carrying a normal-sized human with his tail. So pretty powerful creature, and the reason I'm bringing him up is because a game I'm working on, I've been doing research for, as often happens with my channel, it dovetails with what I'm working on. The Pit Fiend is, of course, lawful evil and exceptionally intelligent. So what I have done is I have had the Pit Fiend replace one of the nobles in Furiandi, and using a hat of disguise, or I haven't decided if it's going to be a hat of disguise or if he's actually going to be shape-changed. I think he'll be shape-changed, actually. He will be appearing as a human, but he will be working his own agenda with the lawful evil and all that other stuff. And it's going to be an opportunity for my player characters to kind of stumble across this little plot and his various minions, and then have to deal with that. I'm thinking of a Death Knight or even 2. That's how high level this group I'm DMing is. I haven't decided on that yet. And then the Pit Fiend, of course, I'm going to give him some other creatures such as the Ice Devil, one of my absolute favorite of the devils. I'm going to give him an opportunity to bring in some of these guys and make it automatic, or have them on hand, lurking invisibly or something. I haven't quite decided it yet, but basically the players are going to be dealing with the Pit Fiend, and this should be a pretty good challenge for them. I remember when I started D&D, the Pit Fiend was one of the monsters I really got excited about because, of course, I had seen the 1978 Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings. I saw that 2 years before I ever played D&D, and I fell in love with the Balrog. So one of my big disappointments when I got into D&D was finding out that there's no Balrog. Well, copyrights being what they are, they couldn't call it that. This guy is really, really close. Before very long into playing D&D, I went ahead and I designed my own Balrog and made him, he's more like a Garistro than a Pit Fiend. My Balrog is quite powerful, quite intelligent, many, many hit dice, over 20 hit dice, that kind of thing. So it all depends on what you want to do, what your table can withstand. The group I'm going to be going against tonight is very, very powerful. So I have found that for the most part, what I need to do is weave a story to confound them. And it's got to be something they have to think their way out of rather than just muscle their way through. This is a pretty powerful group, and they're able to muscle most things out of their path. What they can't do is just overwhelm a story with their power. They have to actually use their power. And this goes back, I've discussed it before, the old Superman comic books, where Superman was so ridiculously powerful in the comics from the 50s, 60s, and 70s that they actually had to find a way to work around his powers without just having him roll over everything he fought. So a lot of the Superman comics from that era dealt with mental challenges for Superman to overcome. And I've kind of taken a lot of that and I use that for my mega levels. That helps me run the mega levels and keeps them interesting and fresh. But there you have it, a Greater Devil, Pit Fiend, as written, very dangerous, as enhanced, as I've described, even more so. And then I'm going to be having him use his exceptional intelligence to undermine some of the government of the Kingdom of Furiandi, which is one of the bases of my campaign in Greyhawk. And he'll be working directly against the player characters. So I'm pretty excited, looking forward to running this one. Don't tell my players, it won't do any good, because by the time this video sees the air, they'll have already played it. If there's any interest, I can do a quick follow-up and tell what happened. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see something like that. But that's really all I've got today on page 121. Just a quick look at a great monster out of the Monster Manual. And I know these guys went on to become Batazu in 2nd edition and all that stuff that went on in the 90s. But I'm still using them as written in the 1st edition just tonight because it's going to be fun. But that's all I got today on page 121. Thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought in your comments below. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Also, please tell your friends. I'm still trying to grow the channel. And take a look at the Patreon, see if you can help me out there. But that's all I got today on page 121. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.